That's saying me.
What if I just get really into like a League 2 team? Like
that would be.
What if I get super in the Northampton town?
That would be okay. I mean, there are some people who kind of take it to a hipster level, like with Wrexham and things like that. But I think if you're actually into it, that's admirable.
I led Northampton Town to a couple of Premier League championships back in FIFA like 13 or whatever. Not
You
FIFA
could
13.
do non-league side Boston United. What about that? There's probably something that's Houston or Houston in there that you can just hone on it and support.
I liked Paris for a while just because.
Paris Saint-Germain?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? No, you were saying something.
Because of Messi. Not of Messi, because of Mbappe. Well, Messi was on the team too.
Messi was on the team, yeah. Yeah. Yves Messi's a big PSG fan.
Yeah.
You don't have to cut this part, Zach. We're just gonna roll into it. Yeah, that would be admirable. Even if you did like a Premier League team that can't win anything, that'd be admirable. Crystal Palace or West Ham, although they did win the Conference League 2 years ago, which I can't believe anybody cares about, but it is a trophy. It is a trophy. I'm not going to knock them for that.
Growing up, I was more a fan of players than teams when it came to soccer. So like I had
your generation does that.
I liked Real
My
Madrid.
generation sometimes does that. Huh?
I liked Real Madrid because they had Ronaldo.
The three teams you've listed to me as ones you've rooted for are off-camera Chelsea, and then on-camera PSG and Real Madrid. Like you couldn't have picked three more hateable teams if you tried.
But I don't know.
But we get real into this Man City one too.
I don't like Man City.
Brother.
Okay, this is gonna sound like a dumb reason I don't like a team. But I do like Liverpool's like badge a lot. I think it's pretty sick. I might become a Liverpudlian.
Scouser.
Scouse? That's a nice accent. I like the Scouse accent.
All right. The Scouse accent. Clip this for the shorts, mate. Do you know what team I support?
You're Liverpool, aren't you?
Yeah. Pretty dyed in the wool. I might go see them next month.
Yeah?
They're playing Manchester United in a friendly in Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, we talked about this yesterday.
The ticket prices are dropping. I really just want to see a bunch of British people and Scouse people in South Carolina. That fascinates me. Because when you go on these U.S. tours, it's like New York, Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia is one of the other places they're going. And, like, that's a cool cultural center to go see. And then we're like, why not? How about Columbia, South Carolina? Talk about some culture. Before we get there, we do have the Euros.
Yeah.
Which you've been way into. So that was kind of the whole point of this is you're not a club fan, but you do follow your international stuff. Mm-hmm. And you have been way in on this Euros, probably more than I have. I've been paying attention to these knockout stages. I didn't see a lot of group games. But we're in the semifinals now. Spain, France, England, the Netherlands, the colonizing Final Four.
Yes. Yeah.
It's been so named. So tell me, Braden, what has stuck out to you in this tournament? Who have you been rooting for?
I'm rooting for the sport. I think.
God, you're fucking insufferable.
Okay.
But
if I had to pick a team,
you're really hoping it grows in America. Yeah.
Yeah. If I really had to pick a team that I want to win, probably France. Just because I like Mbappe a lot.
Or Messi. Yep.
Messi's not from France, although he is in the final. No, they play tonight. They play Canada tonight. But I think Spain is probably going to win the whole thing.
Yeah? Nico Williams, you're buying in?
I think so. Just because scoring seems to be down.
Yeah.
In France, they haven't scored a goal of their own in this entire tournament so far.
They have not scored a goal?
Mm-mm.
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure they've won because
both their knockout games have gone to penalties or an own goal?
Own goal or penalties.
Dude, there's no way. Is that right?
I'm pretty sure. I know they won.
As a child of the 2010 World Cup, I do have a weird soft spot for Spain. Now, I wouldn't say I root for Spain, like I'm a fan, but most games I would prefer Spain to win. I just get brought back to that magical month in South Africa where they were the first team that I got to appreciate in soccer that didn't score a lot but was very entertaining to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Tiki-taka. Fernando Torres, the great Fernando Torres of Liverpool. Have you confirmed that they have not scored their own goal?
I'm looking.
That's crazy. That can't be right. They would have had to win 2 of those games in the group stage.
Well, they drew 2 of their group stage games.
0-0?
0-0 and 1-1. I know scoring's down not primarily, but a big factor in that is because Mbappe has a broken nose.
Yes. And they've famously had striker problems. They were the first team ever to win a World Cup without a goal being scored by their starting striker. That is Olivier Giroud. Has France scored a goal at the Euros? Let's see. The team has managed to score just 3 goals, 2 via own goals and a third on a penalty kick. So they have not scored a goal by themselves in open play.
Nope.
Which is still pretty amazing, Braden. That is still pretty amazing. That's incredible. Yeah. I've watched one France game so far, so I didn't know that. That's crazy. Les Bleus. They're in a pretty good run right now. What I do watch, the team I have watched the most, and we talked about Hate Watch a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched England a few times.
I've been hate watching England too.
I really like seeing England fail on grand stages.
Failed for 90 minutes, and then against Slovenia, they scored in the 95th minute.
Yeah.
And I was upset about that.
So I did a semester abroad in England in 2018 and made some good friends there, locals who were big into it. That was the year they went to the World Cup semifinal, and it was the first time in a long time that they had made a run like that. And so this is the thing. International soccer, I don't really care. I care about the U.S., but on the grand stage, it's the only sport that I can really just kind of appreciate for what it is rather than having a huge rooting interest in one team. So it was that's, good for them in 2018.
Yeah.
Ever since, I have found how fun it is to watch that team fail. And in their golden generation, arguably the best talent pool they've ever had, which they've had a couple of golden generations, to see them continually go through these tournaments, make it deep, and not win it is very fun for me. Watching them lose at home in the Euros final the last time on penalties was great. Seeing England lose on penalties is a tradition as old as time itself.
Mm-hmm.
But they just did win a penalty shootout. My guy Trent scored the winner.
The winner.
So silver lining. That's the other thing is Liverpool fans don't, on the whole, root for the Three Lions. They don't really support England in that way. There's a famous saying that I kind of referenced earlier of, we're not English, we're Scouse. Mm. So the fact that my club team fans doesn't root for the country either, it's okay, well, that makes it pretty easy. I also am not from that country.
True.
So, and have that country's ops. That country's ops.
They are ops.
And seeing them fail just makes it more spectacular. It's not unlike the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this very much a superiority complex. England has the best domestic league in the world and has a great breeding ground, just the same way Texas is the best football state. Doesn't necessarily translate to the Cowboys, just like it doesn't always translate to England winning things because they haven't won a major tournament in 60 years. So all of the fun parts of rooting for the Cowboys to lose and seeing their demise, you can also get with England.
I think it's funny that
you follow me there?
I do. I think it's funny that they keep winning late in games because, if you go on Twitter for the majority of the game, they're always fire Southgate, fire Southgate. And then when they win, it's oh, shit.
It's like
we can't fire Southgate. We keep winning.
After all this, they're exactly where they thought they were going to be. Semifinals of the Euros. And before that, they made it to the final. The World Cup before that, they made the semifinals. They made the quarterfinals of the last World Cup. Like, this is as good a stretch of 6 or 8 years that England has played at major tournaments as they've had in 50 years.
Yeah.
And I also don't like Southgate. I hate his style of football. I hate the way he's playing it specifically with this group that he has, which is so talented.
What club does he coach?
He doesn't. He coaches the national team.
Just that? Okay.
Yeah. So with soccer, they just, like, that's their gig. And he did some, like, lower tier Premier League championship managing. Was a guy, like, was kind of a typical England crony, like played for the English national team, always kind of punched above his weight. And now he's just this lame duck manager. And you just wonder if someone had a more of a fun style of play with the players that they have, they would be the most entertaining team in the world. He's not dissimilar
to Mike McCarthy in that respect.
There you go.
Yeah.
England is the Dallas
Cowboys.
They are never, the English national team is never beating the Dallas Cowboys allegations.
No.
Well, they could win this tournament. But they are facing like a team that is so easy to get behind.
The Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be hard pressed to find international fans that hate the Dutch. The Germans.
I hate the Dutch women's team.
Why?
Just because that's who the U.S. women played in the final at the 2019 World Cup.
Yeah.
And it was
they
closer
win the last
game.
World Cup?
The women? They went out in like the first knockout stage.
That's right. Who won it?
I don't remember.
Shows you how much I fall. Yeah, I do remember them going out pretty early. It was a massive disappointment.
It might have been to like Denmark or something.
Oh, that's brutal.
But I remember that I woke up at 3 a.m. to watch that game.
Yeah, man. You don't feel soccer until you wake up at an ungodly hour just to have your heart ripped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name of the game for soccer.
It was Spain.
Spain.
Because they had that controversy where the president of the federation, they kissed one of the players. Do you remember that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? You ever seen Bend It Like Beckham? That's a problematic movie now.
I have not.
The coach essentially dating his teenage player. Yeah, that's weird. But the Netherlands, easy to get behind.
Yeah.
Cool orange brand.
Cool orange uniform.
The fans are way into it. It's a very cool country. They're super. It's a small country to be that big on the world stage. And Braden, they have never won the World Cup. They won the Euros once, but they have never won the World Cup. They're the team that has been to the World Cup final the most without winning it.
Wow.
Plus, they've got my guy Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah,
Cody Gakpo is lighting up this tournament. I do know that. I think again, as a child of South Africa 2010, would love to see a rematch. Spain,
Netherlands.
But either way, it feels like gravy to me because as far as England goes, that makes their inevitable downfall much funnier.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they're going to win it because they don't win things like this. And I think that conservative approach is going to cost them a major game. I mean, they almost lost the other day. Who did they lose to? Or who did they beat on penalties? Austria.
Yeah.
They played like shit most of that game.
Yep.
They fell behind. They had a good little push to equalize and probably should have won it in the 90. But that push was like 15 minutes of a 90-minute game. Yeah. Then they played not to lose in extra time and won on penalties. You should be beating Austria. You should be beating them in the 90. You had probably the most favorable quarterfinal matchup of anybody. England,
But,
man.
God, Here they are, somehow in the semifinal.
Yeah. You can't argue the results, man. Before Southgate got there, they lost in the round of 16 to Iceland.
Oh, wow.
One of the most embarrassing losses England's ever had. The 2016 Euros. 2014 World Cup, they didn't even make it out of the group. Am I right in saying that? I don't think they made it out of the group in that.
No, they're pulling a U.S.
14. They might have got to the round of 16 and lost. Are you going to be into the 26 World Cup? Are you going to start your research on that as soon as these tournaments end?
I'm hoping to go to a game.
I think you're going to be way into it.
I probably will be, yeah.
I did a whole monologue thing on Greg Berhalter last week. Mm-hmm. I'd like your thoughts.
Once I watch that?
No. I want your thoughts on Greg Berhalter. Sorry.
I want that man
fired. You don't have to watch my content.
I want him fired. Get him out of here. Get that bald man.
Too many G's.
Off the side. Yeah, too many G's. Yeah. Weird last name. Berhalter. It doesn't sound right in the mouth. Also,
do you think it's time the U.S. needs to get progressive and hire a non-American? Because that was, I guess, the biggest takeaway from the video, which is not what I was going for, but a lot of people in the comments were taking that away.
I mean, the name that...
Because they've had one in 30 years that's not American.
The one that's kind of a pipe dream is Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, baby.
But he might be, a little bit too expensive for the U.S. Soccer Federation.
And I saw someone commented on this. I don't know if it's true, but it would make sense with recent legal developments. Do they have to pay the women's coach the same that they pay the men's coach?
I saw that the women's coach made a statement on that and saying that's not one of her priorities right now.
Because that just would be insane. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. That's not how business works. You know what I mean? Not saying that in the normal job that women shouldn't get paid the same amount as men, but when we're talking about what's at stake financially in the men's game versus what's at stake purely financially in the women's game, mm-hmm. and that's the U.S. will never be able to compete on the men's stage if that's the case. Yeah. You're never gonna get the top tier manager, ever. I've befuddled you.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking.
Jurgen Klopp would be awesome.
Well, also
Jurgen Klopp would be terrific for the
this US. Women's team, this women's manager. I don't think it's won anything really.
Well, they're in kind of a transition, a rebuild.
Yeah,
if you can call it that.
Maybe the Olympics come out with at least a silver.
You know what England does have going for them? Because I'm going to make the thumbnail and stuff about England, so I'm going to come back to this. England has historically some great World Cup songs. Mm. World in Motion by New Order.
Yeah.
Good tune. This was a Euro song, but three lines, which is the It's Coming Home, It's Coming Home. That was for the 96 Euros. They've got some good ones over time. And an Oasis song became their unofficial World Cup song of 2002.
Which one?
Stop Crying Your Heart Out.
Okay.
They got eliminated in the round of 16 by Brazil.
I played It's Coming Home on the drive to the 2021 Texas State Championship game.
Why?
Because China Spring was bringing it home.
Oh, wow. Look at you. What stinks is, and this is going to be pretty inside baseball, but where we are in Waco, it's not quite big enough to have a supporters club at any one of the. We've got some good pubs that you could do soccer watching at, but it's not big enough to do the Liverpool fans will go here or the Man United fans will go here or something, and so we don't have it. But I think we can get you into club football, Braden.
You think so? What club?
It's awesome, man. Because I used to be, I followed mostly international for years. Wasn't into the club scene, as I'm not now in a different way. And then once I started getting into Liverpool, I was like, I don't give a shit about international soccer anymore. It just doesn't hold the same fire for me whatsoever. I love watching the World Cup and the Euros. I don't really watch Copa America because it's played in giant football stadiums like MLS. You follow MLS at all?
No, not really. Not since I was like a little boy.
It does suck, man. Like it's as good as it's ever been, and it's a sustainable league. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of soccer fans at this point. I don't know anyone that regularly watches MLS.
No.
Nobody.
Just, I don't know. I tried watching.
The Austin team does pretty well supporting. Like, they're well supported. But
Austin.
I just.
Miami.
I can't get into it. I would love to see Miami.
I would too.
See Messi. See Suarez. Not anything else. Not even Busquets.
Yeah.
Not to go see an MLS match. That's for sure.
No, you're going to see a Messi.
I do have a Messi shirt. Messi Inter Miami shirt.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'll wear it soon. How about that? Wearing long sleeves all the time, even though it's 100 degrees outside, but it's
I've noticed that.
Always kind of cool in here. So
that.
I just said screw it today. I'm just gonna wear this light sweatshirt and pants. I won't sunburn. Okay, Braden, who do you have winning this thing? I know who you're rooting for, but who do you have winning it?
Probably the Spanish.
Okay. You don't think are you going to use the bit of advice that France needs to score a goal from open play?
Yeah.
If they need a chance at winning this. That's amazing that they've gotten to the semifinals with that. That is Jack Charlton Ireland stuff. That's a team you should look up.
Okay.
Jack Charlton's tenure as the Ireland manager, awesome. Now, they had some awesome World Cup songs. Better than England. Better than England at everything, I think.
Who do you think is going to win the Euros this year?
Fuck it, man. I'm rolling with Holland. I'm rolling with the Netherlands.
Okay.
And they get revenge for 2010. They get revenge for Iron Robin.
I think it would be really funny when
Andres Iniesta.
I think it's going to be funny when France and England somehow both win. And England once again loses in PKs.
That would suck, man. That would suck.
Yeah, that'd be really boring.
It'd be very funny if they did play like France, Spain goes 0-0 to penalties. France advances, and then score like 3 from open play in the first half in the final against England. That would be a dream scenario. That would be hilarious. But like, who do I root for in England, France? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
The refs.
French. No, I need Spain, Holland. I was rooting for Spain against Germany. I think it's funny when the hosts go out prematurely. And I was saying to my dad, I was like, and I think I tweeted this too. In fact, I'm almost certain I tweeted this. I was like, I'm an American. I can't root for Germany. They had Hitler. So I'll root for democracy and root for fucking Spain.
Notoriously good.
Pro-democracy, power to the people, Spain. Frankie Franco was like smiling down. Yes. For the people. Yeah. So I think both Spain and Germany are in better spots now. In terms of human rights stuff. Germany may be even better, if we're being honest. Yeah. I will pick the Netherlands. Virgil van Dijk, my captain, lifts whatever they call the trophy for the Euros.
The trophy. I don't know.
If Spain wins, I hope Fernando Torres will be down there.
Okay.
That's all I got. I'm just here to see who's going to beat England.
Yeah.
I'm just here to see who's
going
to
I'm along for the
England.
ride.
Yes. Anyone but England. Honest Abe. AB. Anyone but England. See what I did there?
I did. That was good.
Like, whoever wins the Euros, the story will...
We are Rogue Media Sports.